This is no ordinary message that came to you by chance. What you are about to discover has been kept secret for decades, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. I am the voice that breaks the silence. I am the one who brings to light what has been hidden in the shadows of your family history. The Archangel Gabriel has come with a revelation that will change everything you thought you knew about your lineage and financial destiny. Someone very close to you, someone who has already passed away, has been tirelessly fighting from the other side to reveal this truth to you. They carried a heavy secret until their last days, a secret involving wealth, property, and resources deliberately hidden from you and other family members. They did not leave without telling you out of malice, but because circumstances did not allow it, because others interfered, and because they did not find the courage to speak up in time. This revelation is not about fantasies or illusions. It's about real money and tangible assets, property that was strategically hidden by someone familiar with family greed. You grew up believing that your family had always struggled with scarcity and that poverty was an inevitable inheritance. However, this was a carefully constructed lie. A fortune should have blessed your life long ago, but it was diverted and hidden from you by those who had no right to control it. The Archangel Gabriel showed me exactly where it all started to go wrong. A silent betrayal occurred within your family. There was manipulation involving altered documents, forged signatures, and agreements made in secret. Someone you trusted, who always presented himself as the family protector, was orchestrating a scheme to keep certain information from you. They may still be alive, watching your movements and monitoring your discoveries, ready to act if you get too close to the truth. The deceased person, who is now crying out for justice from the spiritual plane, tried several times to create opportunities to tell you everything. There were times when they almost spoke up. There were situations when the words were on the tip of their tongue, but something always interfered. A phone call interrupted the conversation. An unexpected visit changed the subject. An emergency diverted attention. Now, you understand that these were not coincidences, but rather deliberate sabotage by those who wanted to keep you silent. This hidden wealth is not in conventional bank accounts or obvious investments. It is in something much closer and more accessible than you think. It could be rural property transferred to third parties through fraudulent documentation. It could be a business stake quietly sold without your knowledge. It could even be physical cash or valuables stored in places known only to 2 or 3 people. What matters is that all of this has your name on it, even if other documents say otherwise. The Archangel Gabriel reveals that, in the coming days, you will begin to notice strange signs. Documents you thought were lost will appear in unexpected places. Old conversations will take on new meaning when you remember them from this new perspective. People will make seemingly casual comments about your family's past that will actually contain important clues about what has been hidden. Pay attention to every detail, because the universe is conspiring to deliver the keys to this mystery directly to you. This message is urgent because the window of opportunity is limited. Someone is starting to get nervous because they've noticed you asking different questions and showing interest in aspects of family history that went unnoticed before. This person knows that if you discover the whole truth, their entire scheme will collapse like a house of cards. That is why they are preparing to take drastic measures, perhaps destroying evidence or spreading false information to confuse your search. But you are not alone on this journey. The same spirit that cried out for this revelation has also sent heavenly protection to ensure you reach the end of your discovery. Angelic forces are removing obstacles from your path, opening locked doors, and illuminating hidden clues. You will begin to feel a keener intuition and a greater ability to perceive lies and half-truths. You will grow in courage, gaining the ability to ask the right questions of the right people. This is only the beginning of a revelation that will transform your financial and emotional reality completely. What you discover will change not only your material life, but also bring justice to the silenced and peace to the departed who carried this burden. Those who have departed cannot rest in peace because they know you are living a financially limited life, when you should be enjoying abundance. They watch from the spiritual plane as you struggle to pay bills, sacrifice for small amounts, and give up dreams due to a lack of resources. This causes them deep heartache. They know the truth. They know there is enough money to transform not only your life, but also the lives of your children and grandchildren. Archangel Gabriel showed me exactly how this fortune was accumulated. It was not accumulated through questionable methods or illicit activities. It was built through honest work, smart investments, and a vision for the future that few in your family could understand at the time. The person who created this wealth had specific plans for each family member, including you. There was an original will that clearly stated how everything was to be distributed, but the document mysteriously disappeared shortly after the death of the family patriarch or matriarch. What many do not know is that a second copy of the will was hidden in a place known only to 3 people. One of those people died taking the secret with them. Another is trying desperately to prevent you from ever finding out. And the third is the person who is sending you this message from the spiritual plane. They want you to know that the document exists and has been preserved. It contains information that will change the legal landscape in favor of justice. Before continuing, I need you to demonstrate your faith in this revelation. Write in the comments, "The light that guides me is stronger than any darkness." This statement seals your courage and your connection to the heavenly forces working on your behalf. The family manipulation was deeper than you realize. There were secret meetings where your name was deliberately omitted from discussions about inheritance. Decisions were made about property and assets without seeking your opinion, even though you had a legal right to participate. Important documents were signed in your absence with excuses such as, "He was busy," or "She is not interested in these matters." The truth is that you were deliberately excluded from these decisions because your presence would have complicated the plans of those who wanted to control everything. The most painful realization is that some of the financial difficulties you've faced could have easily been resolved if you'd had access to what's rightfully yours. Remember that time you had to go into debt because of a medical emergency? Remember when you had to choose between paying a bill and buying groceries? Remember those dreams you had to put off indefinitely due to a lack of resources? All of this happened while your inheritance was being managed by others who benefited from it without any remorse. If this message touches your heart, consider supporting this channel with a gesture of light. Click, "Thank you." Your kindness helps keep this mission of delivering words that heal and awaken alive. Archangel Gabriel reveals that a specific date in the past marked the beginning of all this manipulation. Someone very close to the family made a seemingly small decision with enormous consequences. It may have been choosing a specific lawyer, transferring documents to a private safe, or even a marriage or partnership that put the wrong people in positions of power over the family estate. I want you to subscribe to this channel because the upcoming revelations are even more shocking, and you can't miss any of them. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to be alerted whenever a new celestial message is released. While you're at it, leave a comment with a word representing how you're feeling right now. It could be hope, anger, confusion, or anything else echoing in your heart. This interaction strengthens our spiritual connection and allows the next revelations to flow with even greater clarity. The deceased wants you to know that they never stopped fighting for you. Even from the spiritual plane, they interfered in situations to protect you from worse consequences of family manipulation. There have been times when you almost made decisions that would have further complicated your legal situation regarding the inheritance. However, something always happened to make you change your mind at the last moment. It wasn't your intuition. It was the protective hand of your loved ones guiding your steps. They also want you to know that they completely forgive any resentment you may have held toward them. Maybe you felt abandoned when they left. Maybe you questioned why you didn't receive more financial support while they were alive. Maybe you interpreted their silence on certain issues as a lack of love or interest in your well-being. Now, however, you understand that they were being manipulated, pressured, and emotionally blackmailed by those who wanted to keep secrets hidden. What is about to be revealed goes beyond financial issues. It's about revealing the truth, honoring the memory of those who were silenced, and ensuring justice prevails over greed. The Archangel Gabriel revealed to me that a physical object serves as the key to unlocking this mystery. It's not something obvious, like a safe or a briefcase. Rather, it's something ordinary, almost insignificant, that carries the most important information about your heritage within it. It could be a book with notes in the margins, a piece of clothing with something sewn into the lining, or even a photograph with coordinates or numbers written on the back. You have access to this object, but you have never paid attention to it from this perspective. The deceased tried several times to draw your attention to this item. Sometimes they mentioned seemingly unimportant things or made nostalgic comments that were actually disguised clues. They knew they couldn't be too direct because others were always around, watching, and ready to interfere if they realized secrets were about to be revealed. Now, I need to tell you about the exact moment when your family dynamics changed. There was a specific event, a situation that served as a catalyst for all the manipulation that followed. It may have been the death of someone important, a financial crisis exposing vulnerabilities, or an accidental discovery sending certain people into a panic. From that moment on, decisions were made quickly and without proper consultation or transparency. They were always justified as being for the good of the family. The most disturbing thing is discovering that you were deliberately kept from crucial information during specific periods of your life. There were times when you were going through personal difficulties, health problems, professional issues, or relationship challenges, and instead of naturally receiving support from your family, you were left to figure everything out on your own. This did not happen by coincidence, but rather because those controlling the resources knew you were too vulnerable to ask inconvenient questions. Archangel Gabriel has shown me that a network of people has been involved in this manipulation over the years. It wasn't just one person acting alone, but rather a small group who mutually benefited from silence and omission. Some provided privileged information, some signed documents without asking questions, and some simply pretended not to see what was happening. Each person played a role in this grand charade that kept you from what is rightfully yours. The deceased wants you to know that they did their best under the circumstances. They tried to take more direct action at times, but they were threatened, blackmailed, or emotionally manipulated into remaining silent. They were told that revealing the truth would cause irreparable family feuds and hurt you with certain discoveries. They were told it would be better to let things be to keep the peace. However, they never truly agreed with this, which is why their spirit cannot rest. There is one person still alive who holds the key to quickly resolving all of this. This person knows exactly where the original documents are, knows all the details of the manipulation, and has the power to reverse the situation. The problem is that this person is also one of the main beneficiaries of the current scheme, and has no incentive to be honest. You will need to use strategy and wisdom to extract this information from them, without revealing your true intentions. Archangel Gabriel instructs me to tell you that you will receive 3 clear signs in the coming days. The first sign will be a sudden memory of something the deceased said or did. At the time, it seemed unimportant, but it will take on a whole new meaning in light of this revelation. The second sign will be an unexpected encounter with someone who has relevant information about your family's past, even if this person does not realize the importance of what they know. The third sign will be the discovery of a document, letter, or object that you haven't seen in a long time. This item will contain valuable clues about the whereabouts of your inheritance. When these signs begin to manifest, you will know you're on the right track. However, you must also act with absolute discretion because the forces that have kept this secret for so long will not give up easily. They may try to create distractions, cause problems, or spread false information to confuse your search. The truth is that your current financial situation does not reflect your potential or rights. You have been conditioned to accept limitations that shouldn't exist, and to settle for crumbs when you should enjoy abundance. This has created practical difficulties, as well as emotional and spiritual blocks that have affected your self-esteem and ability to dream big. The spiritual dimension of this situation is much more complex than it seems. What happened to your inheritance was not just a matter of human greed. It also triggered a battle on the spiritual plane between forces that want the truth to come to light and those that prefer to keep things in the dark. The deceased is fighting for you and has mobilized a network of heavenly protection, including angels and benevolent spirit guides. The network even includes the direct intervention of Archangel Gabriel. This spiritual safety net is why you survived difficulties that could have been much worse. There have been times in your life when you were on the verge of financial collapse, but something always happened at the last minute to prevent total disaster. A job opportunity came out of nowhere. A late payment arrived just when you needed it most, or someone offered help without you asking. These were not strokes of luck, but direct interventions by heavenly forces preparing the ground for this revelation. Archangel Gabriel showed me that there is a specific pattern in the numbers related to your inheritance. This pattern may be an exact amount that appears repeatedly in different documents. It could be a date that repeats itself in several important situations. It could even be an address or code that the manipulators used as a secret reference. Once you discover this pattern, it will unlock all other aspects of the mystery. The deceased wants you to know that they have watched you shed tears over financial difficulties. They saw you humiliate yourself by asking for loans. They saw you give up opportunities due to a lack of resources. They saw you blame yourself for not being able to provide more comfort for your family. Each time this happened, their heart broke a little more because they knew you were suffering unnecessarily, while others enjoyed your inheritance. If this message has touched your heart, consider clicking "Thank you." This small gesture will support our mission to continue bringing messages of light to all who need them. There is a specific physical location where part of your inheritance is stored. It's not a conventional bank or obvious financial institution, but rather a place of emotional significance to the family. It could be a rural property that was supposedly sold, yet still belongs to the family through a complex legal structure. It could be an urban property registered under a third party's name with legal ties to your lineage. It could even be a place where valuables were buried or hidden, waiting to be recovered at the right moment. Most striking is that you have been to this place at least once in your life, unaware of its importance. Perhaps you visited during a casual family outing, a social event where you were just a guest, or even a professional situation that brought you there without your realizing the connection. The deceased tried to give you subtle clues about the importance of this place, but you lacked the necessary context to understand at the time. Archangel Gabriel reveals that, in the coming days, you will be guided back to this place, not by coincidence but by a sequence of events that will seem natural, yet will actually be spiritually orchestrated. This could manifest as an unexpected invitation, a professional obligation that brings you there, or an inexplicable urge to visit the place. When this happens, pay attention to every detail, because the universe will communicate vital information through seemingly insignificant signs. The manipulation of your inheritance had consequences that went far beyond the financial issue. It affected the energetic balance of the entire family, creating spiritual blockages that manifested as recurring illnesses, problematic relationships, unexplained depression, and a general feeling that nothing would work out no matter how much effort was put in. When the truth comes to light and justice is served, you will see positive changes in all areas of your life, not just your finances. The departed person wants you to understand that forgiveness does not mean passively accepting what has been done. Forgiveness means releasing the emotional weight you have been carrying so that you can act with mental clarity and spiritual strength to pursue your rights. They want you to fight for the truth with wisdom, strategy, and heavenly protection, rather than with anger or a thirst for revenge. There is a lawyer your family used in the past who still has crucial documents related to your inheritance in their files. They may no longer be active professionally, but their records have been preserved and contain information that could change the legal landscape in your favor completely. The challenge will be to locate these files and convince the current custodian to share their contents. The moment of full disclosure is approaching, and Archangel Gabriel instructs me to prepare you for what you are about to discover. The truth will be more shocking than you can imagine because it involves not just one person but a family conspiracy that has lasted for decades. People you considered honest and trustworthy actively participated in concealing your inheritance. Some of them are still in your social circle, discreetly ensuring you never discover what really happened. The amount involved is significantly greater than you could ever have suspected. It's not just a few $1,000s stashed in a forgotten account. It's a substantial fortune that includes properties, investments, business interests, and even royalties from ongoing income-generating activities. Your family was much better off financially than they ever publicly let on, and they strategically hid this wealth to avoid disputes, as well as certain legal and tax obligations. The deceased wants you to know that they left clues in several places as a security measure. in case any evidence was discovered and destroyed. They recorded names, dates, and specific amounts related to the manipulation of the inheritance in a hidden personal journal. There is also a series of photographs that appear to be ordinary family photos, but actually document properties and assets not officially recorded in public documents. There is also a sealed letter, addressed specifically to you, containing detailed instructions on how to recover what is yours. The most painful part of this revelation is realizing that some people involved in the conspiracy took advantage of your kindness and generosity over the years. There were times when you helped financially with family members who were struggling, unaware that these same people had access to resources that should have been available to you. They accepted your help while secretly enjoying the wealth that had been taken from you. Archangel Gabriel reveals that there is a deadline for you to take legal action regarding this situation. This deadline is not arbitrary, but rather relates to specific legal issues concerning the statute of limitations, property transfers, and other matters that could significantly hinder your ability to recover your property if you delay in taking action. This spiritual urgency has a very practical basis in earthly law. The deceased person is particularly concerned about a situation that may occur in the coming weeks. Someone involved in the conspiracy is planning an important change that will make tracking down the misappropriated assets even more difficult. This could be the sale of a key property, the transfer of documents to another country, or even the deliberate destruction of existing physical evidence. You must act before this window of opportunity closes permanently. There is also an international dimension to this story of which you are not yet aware. Part of your inheritance has been moved to other countries through complex legal structures involving offshore companies, foreign bank accounts, and international investments. This was done to hide the assets and make future tracing and recovery attempts more difficult. Those who orchestrated this had sophisticated knowledge of tax avoidance and asset protection. Most surprisingly, you have personal connections who can significantly help with the recovery process, though you don't yet know who they are or how they can contribute. Someone in your professional circle is an expert in the exact area you need. Another person in your social network has access to privileged information about your family's business. Someone you consider a casual acquaintance has historical ties to those involved in manipulating your inheritance. The deceased wants you to know that they never doubted your ability to uncover the truth and fight for your rights. They always knew you had the intelligence, determination, and integrity to solve this mystery when the time was right. That is why they left clues organized in a way that only you could interpret correctly, using references and codes that only those who shared experiences and memories with them would understand. Archangel Gabriel instructs me to tell you that you will have a very specific dream in the coming nights. In this dream, the deceased will appear and show you where to find one of the most important pieces of evidence. Because of the limitations between the spiritual and physical planes, they will not be able to speak directly to you in the dream, but they will use gestures, symbols, and situations to communicate the necessary information. When you wake up, immediately write down everything you can remember, as the details can fade quickly if not recorded. Recovering your inheritance will change not only your financial situation, but also restore your family's karmic balance, allowing the departed person to finally find peace on the spiritual plane. The final phase of this revelation involves practical actions that you must take in the coming days, but you will always have the spiritual protection and guidance that has been poured out upon your life. Archangel Gabriel instructs me to tell you not to act alone on this journey to recover your inheritance. Specific people have been spiritually prepared to help you. You will recognize them through signs that will be impossible to ignore. The first person the universe will send will have legal knowledge but may not be a traditional lawyer. This person could be a law professor, a graduate student specializing in inheritance law, or someone who works in a law office with access to old records. This person will enter your life casually, but they have actually been spiritually guided to you. They will mention something related to family inheritances or cases similar to yours. This will be your sign that you can trust them with basic information about your situation. If you find this message touching, please consider supporting this work by clicking "Thank you very much." This gesture, however small it may seem, helps us continue spreading these messages of light to those who need them most. The second person will have investigative or research skills. They could be a journalist, private investigator, genealogist, or someone skilled at finding information in complex databases. This person will show genuine interest in your family history and offer help without you having to ask. They can discover connections and patterns you wouldn't be able to identify on your own. The third person should have specific knowledge of the geographic area or economic sector where your inheritance is concentrated. If it involves rural properties, they should be familiar with agribusiness. If it involves urban real estate, they should be familiar with the real estate market. If it involves specific businesses, they should be someone in that field. This person will understand the technical aspects of the situation and know key people who can facilitate the recovery process. The deceased wants you to know that recovering your inheritance is about more than money. It's about restoring your family's dignity and honoring the memory of those who worked hard to build that wealth. When you take control of the resources that are rightfully yours, you also take on the responsibility of using that wealth wisely and benevolently. This will allow you to continue the legacy of integrity that characterize the true builders of your family's wealth. Archangel Gabriel reveals that the recovery process will take place in 3 distinct stages. The first stage involves discovering and organizing evidence proving your rights. This includes documents, witnesses, official records, and other material supporting your legal claim. The second stage involves negotiating with those who currently control your resources. Some of them may cooperate when confronted with irrefutable evidence. If necessary, the third stage will involve formal legal action to force the return of what was wrongfully appropriated. Throughout this process, you must maintain absolute discretion about your movements and discoveries. Those involved in the original conspiracy still have resources and connections that could be used to thwart your efforts if they realize you are getting close to the truth. It is better for them to believe that you are merely satisfying family curiosities than to suspect that you have discovered the full extent of the manipulation. The person who left also wants you to know that forgiving those who participated in the conspiracy does not mean giving up your rights or passively accepting what was done. Forgiveness means releasing the emotional weight that would prevent you from acting with clarity and wisdom. You can seek justice and reclaim what is yours, while keeping your heart free of bitterness and a thirst for revenge. A special blessing will be poured out on your life when you recover your inheritance. You will experience not only financial relief, but also a complete transformation of your personal energy, self-esteem, and ability to dream and plan for the future. You will discover talents and abilities that were dormant because of your financial limitations. You will have opportunities to help others in ways that were previously impossible. You will be able to accomplish personal projects that were once just distant dreams. Most importantly, understand that this revelation has come at the exact moment you are spiritually ready to handle it. Had you discovered it years ago, you might not have had the maturity or wisdom to properly utilize the resources. Had you discovered it years later, some legal opportunities might have been lost forever. The timing is divine, and this is further proof that higher forces are orchestrating every aspect of this situation. The deceased is smiling on the spiritual plane because they know their mission is being fulfilled. They can finally rest in peace, knowing you will discover the truth. Reclaim what is yours and use this blessing to bless others. We have reached the final moment of this sacred revelation. Archangel Gabriel wants you to know that what has been shared is not just information, but a transfer of spiritual power that will transform your relationship with abundance and your family identity. The deceased did more than send a message through the heavenly planes. They set in motion a series of events that are already unfolding in your real life, though you may not have noticed all the signs yet. In the coming days, you will begin to notice subtle yet significant changes in how people behave around you. Those who participated in the family conspiracy will show signs of nervousness when you ask seemingly innocent questions about the past. They may change the subject quickly, make up excuses to avoid lengthy conversations, or start spreading false information to confuse your search for the truth. This is not paranoia. It is confirmation that you are on the right track. Conversely, people who can help you will appear with a frequency that seems miraculous. Casual conversations will reveal unexpected connections to your family history. Professional opportunities will arise in areas where you need expertise. Important documents will appear in unexpected places. These are not coincidences. They are the universe conspiring on your behalf to ensure justice is served. The deceased person wants you to know that they chose you specifically to be the guardian of this truth. They chose you not only because you are a direct descendant, but also because you possess the moral qualities necessary to use your recovered inheritance in a dignified and benevolent manner. They have observed your life over the years and witnessed your ability to maintain integrity, even during difficult financial times. They have seen how you have helped others, even when you had little to offer. They have seen that you never lost faith in divine justice, even when circumstances suggested otherwise. The trust they placed in you comes with a spiritual responsibility. When you recover your inheritance, you should use part of it to bless people going through the same hardships you have faced. There is no need for it to be a specific amount or a set percentage. Archangel Gabriel instructs me to say that your heart will guide these decisions when the time comes. The important thing is to understand that wealth recovered through heavenly intervention comes with an obligation to perpetuate blessings. Recovering your inheritance will also reveal aspects of your family history you never knew about. You will discover ancestors who had a much greater impact on society than was ever mentioned. You will find evidence of generosity and charity, which explains why your lineage has been blessed with prosperity. You will recognize patterns of behavior that have repeated themselves through the generations, and they will make sense within the larger context of your spiritual journey. There is also an ancestral healing dimension to this situation. The manipulation of your inheritance created energetic wounds that affected not only you, but also your entire family tree. When the truth comes to light and justice is served, these wounds will begin to heal. This will release patterns of scarcity and limitation that may have manifested over several generations. Your children and grandchildren will benefit from this healing as much as you will. The deceased wants you to know that they are immensely proud of who you have become, despite all the adversity you have faced. They see your inner strength, your capacity to forgive, and your determination to do what is right, even when it is difficult. These qualities enable you not only to reclaim your inheritance, but also to use it in a way that honors the memory of those who originally built it. Archangel Gabriel instructs me to leave you with a final blessing. May every step of this journey be illuminated by heavenly wisdom. May every obstacle be transformed into an opportunity. May every person you meet along the way be an angel in disguise, sent to help you. May the final outcome exceed all of your most optimistic expectations. Now, I have a special request from my heart to yours. If this message has touched your soul, brought hope to an impossible situation, or made you believe in divine justice again, I invite you to become part of the spiritual community forming around these revelations. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications because more powerful messages will be shared, and you won't want to miss any of them. More importantly, share your story with us. Tell us in the comments how this revelation resonates with your experience. Describe the signs you have already begun to notice. Report the synchronicities that have recently occurred in your life. Your story may give someone else the courage to seek their own truth. Together, we create a spiritual support network that strengthens each individual member. Remember, the person who sent this message through Archangel Gabriel will not rest until you enjoy the abundance that has always been yours. They will continue to send signs, open doors, and prepare the way until justice is fully restored.